thanks for coming and hanging out in the basement with me today. Well, I got something really cool. You've already looked at the thumbnail, so you know what this is. And I haven't put eyes on this, but this is, this engine or type of engine, fantasy engine if you want, is something that I've wanted ever since I learned Lionel made it. And I think it's really a cool piece. I like the design and everything, but let's move the camera, unwrap it, and check it out. And also, let me know what you think of the layout, because I got everything all set up, all the buildings are up, and I'm starting to kind of 3D print a few structures, a few little things here and there, and hopefully it's going to turn out really good. Alright, here we go, the big reveal for me. Now, Cabin Fever is where I got this from, and I'll toss the picture, I'll toss the price up here. And they do a great job. It's wrapped in paper, it's wrapped in little bubble wrap, and then it's in a box filled with foam peanuts. But they always do a good job. Nothing I've had has ever had any shipping damage. Alright, here we go. A number 44. Oh, this is nice. Oh, it's even got instructions? Wow, didn't know that. So, here we go. I'm going to move my cutting mat over here. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. So this is a number 44 mobile missile launcher, I believe is what they call it. Still got to get an activation track. So I got some other things coming that are going to use that. This one looks really good. Yep, we're spring loaded here. First thing we're going to do is figure out how it comes apart, because I have not had one of these apart before. And yeah, that's really cool. We got a... This is our manual launch deal. Thanks to Ray's Rails. Shout out to Ray's Rails. He's got some of these, and he just did a video on how to replace the foam in here that makes sure that these things lock down. Yeah, these don't lock down. So there's a piece of foam in there that helps with that. So we will take a look at it. So I see some tabs here. I like the design of this. This is just pure... I'm thinking it's pure fantasy. If somebody knows that this is based off a prototype, let me know. Okay, we got one screw in the back, of course. Excellent. This is great. Let's take a look at these directions. Whoa. Mobile rocket launcher with magnet traction. This is nice to have. Nice. Lamp replacement, very good. Let's see here. Envelope, extra missiles. Envelope number 44-80 containing 4 extra missiles is available from your dealer or by mail from Lionel Surf Department for 50 cents. I bet I could 3D print something. Let's check out these missiles. Nice. They're a little chewed up, but hey, that's alright. Interesting. They got like a weight in the end. Yeah, these are weighted. I didn't realize that. Probably so they arc like this. Alright, that's good to know. So if I 3D print anything, I might have to bury a weight or something in there, but yeah, that's alright. We don't need to 3D print anything. Alright, again. Radiation symbol, built by Lionel, U.S. Army. There's supposed to be a little radar display. Luckily, it's the same one that's on the radar trailers and other things like that, so that'll be easy for me to get. Oh, we got a bi-pin bulb in there. Cool. Didn't know that. I might have to color that. If that bulb works, we'll have to maybe color it. But let me get a screwdriver and we'll take that off and take a look at it. Let's see here. This thing's really long. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Looks to be in good shape. Nothing seems to be broken. I'm pretty happy with the price I paid for it. So we got a couple tabs up here. We just gotta push things forward, hopefully. Oh, we got a guy. The guy's holding us up. It's like, don't leave me! I'm trapped! Help! Have to pry him out of there. Now he should just be sitting on a peg. Yep, there we go. Yep, and there he goes. Beautiful. Oh, there's my guy. Wearing overalls. Okay. Guess you wear overalls when you run a fancy army train. So yeah, not too bad at all. Looks nice, a little dirty, but I'm not going to wash it because I think it looks just fine. And I said it's got a bi-pin bulb. I recognize the style of bulb. Here's the bulb, so it's a coated bulb that's got 2 pins. And at first, when I encountered these in Seaberg jukeboxes, I go, why'd they use this stupid thing? Well, it's actually cheaper by a lot because then the manufacturer doesn't have to put a cap and solder it and everything. You just got these 2 pins. So that's interesting. We'll put that off to the side so it doesn't... Ah, yes. Here's the foam that goes underneath. So watch what happens with this foam. Just disintegrates, crumbles like a cookie. So that is very common. I mean, with foam that happens. So, yep. Electrical solenoid that pulls this back for the launching thing. Spitting out foam at me. There's our standard E unit there. Looks pretty good. You know what? We should make sure it works. I haven't even tried it out yet. Alright, let's put this thing back on carefully. Hopefully. Oh yeah, and that thing has to fit in too. Okay. Alright, we're in. Sort of. Jeez. Can't win. Amateur hour here. Alright. Let's check this out. See how it works. If it works. Boy. I don't like how this... Yeah. The front truck does not pivot like it should. Hey, it works. Okay, excellent. I gotta do something to make that transform a little quieter. Maybe 3D print a piece of ductwork for the fan or something. Yeah, this thing is just nasty. Should pivot a lot smoother. So that's going to be our main thing we're going to fix. So you might ask, how are we going to get this apart? Let's take off the top of the motor first, and then get some tools, and we'll start working on that. First, I'm going to start with... I could unsolder these wires, but I think I'll just leave them. Take off the brush plate, brush holder. We got a wire to the side here that goes to the field coil. We'll see how nasty we are. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to unsolder some wires. I forgot about that one that goes on the field coil. Alright. How bad are we? Not terrible. I mean, it ran. Okay, we've got a metal washer here. And we've got our brushes, which actually look pretty good. So, take a look at that guy. A little bit of dirt in the grooves, but otherwise it looks really nice. Now my goal is to pop these off and get the motor out of the way, so I need to disconnect that one. I don't really need to pull off the other wires here. Let's get my soldering iron. Okay, this should go pretty quick with this sucker. Alright, so it's wrapped around a little... Well, it's not wrapped around, but it's in there pretty good. Not going to worry about melting the... this black plastic. It's very tough. Here we go. So the black wire goes also where this field coil wire goes, which is no problem. Now we just have to carefully work these up. It can be kind of tough. Just gotta kind of tweak them a little bit, and hopefully they'll go back and stay locked in. Oh yeah, so we got locks on each side of these things. They are buggers. Alright, there's one. Flatten that out a little bit before we put it back on. So it's just going to need a little bit of grease and it should swivel nicely, but I want to pull it all off just so I can clean up the trucks. And there we go. Get our little spring keeper here. And then voila! We're out. Okay. Do not see any washers on the underside of the motor. You might add some. Got some old grease in there. Otherwise, the commutator looks really good. So like I was saying, this is the second design of the motor. They changed this plate to include the bearing here versus right here. Let's see if I can pop that out and hopefully not break it. Okay, excellent. Yeah. This plate does not have the built-up piece of plastic that would support the end of the motor. Alright, so we're looking great because we don't have any wear on this piece. We got some old lubricant in here that we got to take care of. But I'm going to clean this thing up and let's see how the magnet traction works. See if it's still alive. It's weak. Yeah, it's weak, but it doesn't have to be too strong for this. That's okay. Excellent. Alright, let me clean this up and I'll be back when we put some lubricant on it. And we're back. Got everything cleaned up. Used my favorite solvent, naphtha. And a definitely old toothbrush, but it didn't take much. This was actually one of the cleaner ones I got. But so once we get all that grease and gunk out of there, this thing is already way better. So first, let's get some lubricant in the axle here. So we're going to use like oil. This is 30 weight oil, but you use whatever you want. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to be one to sit here and go, you need to use this, you need to use that, don't use this, don't use that. My philosophy is, it's your locomotive. Do what works for you. And be happy. Okay, we're going to put some lubricant on the end of this here. And we'll put some here. Put a little bit on the center of these gears. Alright, now that's just oil. I haven't put any grease on the gears yet. Let's see how much better it is. They're already working much better. Now let's put some grease in the gears. This is just general purpose grease. You can use a little bit of super lube if you want, or other grease. LaBelle makes some good stuff. I kind of go for just a thin coating. Doesn't need to be gooped on here. And the grease I just put in there, that's going to work its way around. Okay, I see I got some on the flange here, so we'll wipe that off. Now let's see what she does. Much better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up this guy. This one I want a lot of grease on, because it's really buried in here and you really can't see it, so good to give it a good healthy dose of grease. Want a strong coating of it. Fill up the gear. Most of it's going to get pushed aside in the first 10 seconds of operation anyway. Okay, that's pretty good. Now this is good. Oh, look at that. That works really well. Up next is our commutator. I think we might have another washer on here. Let's see what we got. Yep, here's another washer on here. There we go. Now let's just clean this up, and again, you do you. If you don't like me using this, that's okay. I use it because it works. Some people polish these with a Dremel. Some people just use alcohol on them. And there we're done. Let's make sure they, yeah, we're clean. No gunk in here. This thing's in really good condition. And got a little bit of grease right up in there, but it's not going to affect operation. Okay. Let's get a little bit of favorite solvent here. Let's get my fingernail in here. Clean out that groove spiral. Okay, that looks pretty good. That is really nice. Much better looking. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lot of oil right in here. Going to really hit that up. Some of it's going to sling off anyway, but that's okay. Put a lot of oil right on this bushing here. We'll put a little bit on the outside because it'll soak in. This is an oilite bushing. It's porous, so it'll soak in a little bit. Give a little head start, maybe. Alright, there we go. And just for fun, put a little bit of this grease right in here. Like I said, most of it is just going to get flung to the side, but that's okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to need any spacers on the bottom here, but that'll just be determined by me running it. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that just really locates the armature so much better having that bushing down there. Excellent. We are ready to be reassembled a little bit. Alright, now the tricky part is getting this guy in place. Without breaking anything. This can be a real bear to get in. There we go. Alright, one in. One to go. Oh, it popped out on me. Try it again. Alright, there we go. Pinching my finger. Okay, we're close now. There we go. A little bit far here. That's in. That looks in. Okay, excellent. We're done. And the armature fell out, but that's okay. Phew, that was tough. Let's turn our attention back to this guy. So we need to clean out the grease from here, put a little bit of lubricant on, reassemble it. Making a mess of everything. Jeez. There. Let's see here. another reason why this was hard to turn. How dirty that is? That's just old dried up grease. Yeah, you can see that right there. That's a big chunk of solid grease, I think. Yep. That was definitely causing some trouble for us. That is the paraffin in the grease. Super Lube does not have that, and neither does the grease I have. Or if it's got any, it's very low amount. Scrape this away. Shredding our paper towel, that's for sure. A little bit there. Alright, let's clean the top side and we'll be done. Feels smooth now. Let's get a nice coating down here. Don't need much. Probably need a little more on the sides for this one because this one's got those little plastic sliders. Okay, that's good. Okay. We are looking really nice. Let's try this out. Oh, that just fits so much better and doesn't, not all sticky. Now granted, we don't have the springs on yet, but that'll be next. Okay, I got some grease on the commutator I gotta wipe off. Okay. Luckily I saw that. Alright, excellent. Another important thing is to wipe the bottom of these little sliders. That was absolutely crazy how difficult this thing was to turn, that front truck. Beautiful. Our springs look good. I'm not going to bother cleaning those. Now the trick with these is not to put them on very far. I learned that the hard way. First time I put one on, it went like all the way down. And I was like, well, that's not good. It's a real bear to get it back out. Here's another one. Okay. Yeah, this is so much better. It's not quite as easy as I'd like. It's almost as if this is binding a little bit. Not too bad, though. Maybe I need a little grease on the sides. Let's try that. These little fingers probably are touching the sides. Try that out. I think that's better. Excellent. Okay. Now another important thing is make sure the tubes for the brushes are clean. Like I said, this engine was not dirty at all, just a little bit of normal stuff, but you can see how black it gets. These brush tubes don't require any lubrication. They're supposed to be dry, but you do need to lubricate the center bearing, and this is a wick. It's a rather tough wick too, but we're not going to worry about that right now. That keeps the motor lubricated. Okay, excellent. I will solder that once it's all in place. Okay, let's get our brushes out. Like I said, these are actually really good. They're not worn, or very little. And this engine has not had very much runtime on it. Okay. So I'm going to put it with the slotted side up. We can rotate them around once they're in there. How I like to do it is I'll tip the whole engine over on its side. Armature will stay in place. Oh, we got some washers, don't we? I'll put those on unless I feel in operation doesn't need them, but for now I'll put wobbles in there. Okay. Sometimes a little tricky getting this started. Sometimes these things are just real bears. There we go. I just had to push on this peg a little bit, the metal peg. Adjust the position of the armature a little bit. There we go. So now to get the brushes right way around, rotate a little bit. There we go, they're lined up. Put our screws in. This one requires the other wire here. Now if you have a 2-position reverse unit, like on a Alco diesel or something, it takes an insulator under this screw. Now, this is a 3-position reverse unit, so connects directly to the chassis. Let me put that bulb in while I'm thinking about it. Interesting. Okay, let's put a little bit of lubricant on the wick here. Actually, a lot of lubricant on the wick. We want to soak it really good. Put a little bit of lubricant on the bushing itself, but a lot on the wick. There we go. Now I just need to solder this wire back on and this wire. Piece of cake, right? Now, I don't have a problem using this high temp gun because this is a good solid piece of metal. I'm not dealing with something that's going to be a problem if it gets too hot. Okay, get this guy over here. Fresh solder will also help. I'll probably put a little bit on. Actually, I'm going to change this wire. I don't want it off to the side. I want it right in the middle. Fresh solder is always good. Let that cool off. There we go. Okay, turn on the transformer. Let's see if I did good. Let's see here. Did I mess it up? I'd say she runs pretty good. Rollers I gotta clean. Alright. Now the motor is good to go. I'm quite happy with that. The other part here, gotta clean the rollers with the Dremel, or even this would work. We'll do that off camera. You don't need to see that. But I do need to figure this guy out. We need to take off this plastic piece here. In order to do that, I think we got to get this fuel tank out of the way. Twist this tab up here, hopefully. That's off. Ah, that single tab holds this guy. Okay. How's my reverse unit look? That looks really good. Somebody must have worked on that. Okay. Now let's see if I can get this piece off. There's one bent over tab there. Being tricky. There we go, which means it'll be even trickier to put back in. Okay, so we had a piece of foam across here, and there's one up here. Okay, so this bottom one is the one we got an issue with. Let's try locking it in place here. If I hold the foam down, yep. Okay. I'm going to disassemble this and clean it up in the sink, because this definitely looks a little grubby. Let's see what it looks like under here. Normally you just replace that foam, but like window ceiling foam would work really good. Shout out to Raise Rails that just had that video. Turned out really good. Just what I needed. Hopefully this thing doesn't go flying on me, which it probably will. Because there is spring tension here. Just gotta see how these are all in there. Yeah, there's a little bit of grease and oil in there, so we'll clean that up. Yeah, look at that. Yep. Yucky. Alright, I will clean this up and we'll be right back. So, got this thing cleaned up. I let it soak in just warm soapy water and scrubbed it every once in a while. And then I took a Q-tip to it and with some of my cleaner, just cleaned out all the muck. And another yucky thing was these. The actual piece that sticks through here. That was just all yucky, just from people's fingers, I think. Kids' fingers or whatnot. That was gross. But, ready to lay down our foam, and we can see where it was, which is great. And this is just home insulation. It's for windows and whatnot. I've got a similar bag of stuff. Window seal foam tape. I think this will be fine. I don't think the original was very firm, and this stuff doesn't look like, this stuff isn't super firm, so we'll just make an approximation of what it was and put it in both the exact same spot. There we go. Peel this off. It's non-adhesive on one side, so that should be pretty much what it was from new. Now let's see if we can figure out how to get this back together. Well, magnet traction works a little bit. Oh, I also cleaned up the rollers with a Dremel, with a little bit that kind of looks like, you know, where is it? It's got a wheel that's got this kind of stuff on it. Works real good. Alright, so let's see if we can figure out how to get this back in. Now, I'm not going to put any kind of lubricant on it, because these aren't going to get a lot of use, so if it doesn't work good, I'll take it apart and put lubricant on it, but we should be okay. This piece came out really nice. It's good, like closed cell foam. We're just going to put it right back in the way it was. If I had a small piece, I'd just renew it, but this is denser foam. Alright, let's see what I can do. Make sure things are looking good. Yep. There we go. These aren't really in there with much force. Okay. So we got the mechanism in here for the locking. But that goes like this. Go, and let's see, which way does this thing go? Goes like this, and let's see here. Does it fit like that? Does it fit like that? It's like this. I like to figure stuff out. Okay, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good enough for now. I can always take it apart later. Okay, good. Okay, just had a revelation. Upon putting this in the second time, I see there is small little channels, little U-shaped channels. That's what these things are supposed to fit in, so they pivot here. I think it'll go together much better. I did put some super lube on it. That was definitely it. So when it's all together, these guys should be just nice and free to lock it, push down on it. Then as we hit them here, beautiful. That should work really good. Now, let's see how it fits in here. It's going to be a tight fit. Now, there were 2 holes in the plastic here, or in the pad. You could see that there used to be holes for these guys. We'll see if I need to cut those out or not. Depends how it works. That thing out of the way. There we go. Okay, I'll just hold it in position here. That one's not locking. interesting. The middle one isn't. Let's try our firing. Okay. Then we could have been right on the release knob for it, so that could happen. Okay. Alright, excellent. That is working well. Okay, let me get this back together and we'll put it on the track. All back together. Let's give her a run around the track, then we'll fire off the missiles. Excellent. Now, let's see where these go. I haven't fired these before. Pshoo! Right on the bus. Let's get you a higher view. Oh, right on the PCC car. That PCC car is getting it hard. Pshoo! Ah, success. Well, there you have it, the number 44 U.S. Army Mobile Missile Launcher. Let me know what you think. I did relocate this bridge because it was hitting it, and there were some other locomotives that were hitting it too, so I hope you like it. I think this is really cool. I love the design of that. It's so cool. If you guys think it's based on a prototype, a real prototype, let me know. I really don't think it is, but anything's possible. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you check out the rest of the catalog. Alright, let's launch them. Choo, 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 choo. Oh, we got one on the track. That's not going to go well. I think it'll stop the train. Kaboom! Alright, thanks for watching.